Hello everybody and welcome to our live studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland. It's round 14 of the FI Motocross World Championship. We're at the MXGP of Czech Republic and we return to Loket. Coming up on today's show, we have from MX2, Mathis VALIN, of course, Kawasaki Factory Racing Team, Calvin VLAANDEREN, Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MXGP, and Jason Thomas is going to be our resident, not just this week, but also next week. Today is going to be talking about MX2, and when we go to Belgium next week, we're going to talk about MXGP. Well, before we go on anywhere, Lisa Leyland, here we are. We've had a weekend off. How was your week at the beach? I'm assuming that's what you were getting up to.
Well, because I live close to the beach. Yeah, just chilled. Chilled. It just comes and goes so quickly, doesn't it?
It does.
And yours?
Nice weekend at home.
Yeah. It's good. It's good to be at home.
And here's the thing. You've also got a little girl. She's 4 years old. I'm guessing it was nice and relaxing, was it? Or was it life at a million miles an hour?
It's the whole summer holidays thing, isn't it, now? So it's a full-time job at home. I come here for a break, Paul.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Anyway, should we crack on with the show?
Let's
meet our first guest. Mathis VALIN, Kawasaki Racing Team, joins us now. First time on the studio show. And, of course, you know, it's his first year in MXGP, MX2 as well. And, Mathis, good to see you. And welcome to our studio show. First time you've been in here.
Yeah, hello everyone. Thanks to invite me.
And I'm surprised actually, not even been in here for behind the gate interviews or anything like that. Not yet, I think.
No, nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
This is my first year in MX2 too, so.
Are we going to get him to sing or not?
No,
we won't do that to you.
No, we won't do that. Well, look, let's crack on. 2024, last year you won EMX 250 European Championship. How big was that for you as a rider in terms of your career, where you go next?
Yeah, was a little bit something different to pass in MX2 and EMX2, sorry. And yeah, new team, new adventure with everyone, and didn't expect that. So yeah, it was quite a good year for me. We finished with the title, so this was really good. And yeah, we had a good work, and then I have the place to go in MX2, so I go directly.
And people don't realise maybe that to win EMX 250 gives you a good platform to maybe move into a big team. You're with Kawasaki Factory now. How is it for you being in that factory team with Kawasaki?
Yeah, it's something like big. We said 2 years ago I was in 125. I was struggling a little bit to have budget and everything, and now like 2 years after I have like everything new, everything is big, and having a good help from Kawasaki, from everyone, and that's so different. At the beginning, need to be a little bit, need to have the feeling about it, and that's it. But yeah, it's quite big when you go in the first time.
Yeah.
Well, and also to become a factory rider is a kid's dream, isn't it? How old were you, Mathis, when you had your first race, and do you remember that day?
Yeah, I don't remember because I think I was too young.
Really?
I was 6 years old, I think, and yeah, I don't remember a lot, but yeah, for sure, it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you've come a long way, haven't you, since then? Are you the only one that raced motocross in your family, or did your father or anyone else race bikes?
Yeah, I think like every guys are here in the track. Like someone in the family was doing motocross. So yeah, my dad was doing motocross. So since I'm a kid, I'm in the tracks, and I think it come like that.
Yeah, Did he ride on a good level, like in French Championship, or was just for fun for him?
No, yeah, I was there in 2017 for the European Championship in 65. Well, I didn't ride so well, but yeah, was there. I was was going up in the French Championship, 65, 85, 125, and yeah.
Okay. Well, look, it is your first year in MX2. Obviously, Argentina was the first Grand Prix. And how was that for you? And how was that whole weekend, that experience of being in a GP for the first time? And how was the track in Argentina?
Yeah, it was something new again. Big travel to go there. So yeah, a new track and a new experience too. Yeah, everything is different, rider different, and then the timetable is also different. We ride quite a lot too, so yeah, it's quite different. I remember like the Sunday morning when I wake up, I was so sore. I said, wow, it's crazy. Yeah. And then yeah, with everything new, and with the sun we had, like, was crazy too. But at least, yeah, track was really good. We had a lot of rain in the Saturday evening, so yeah, was having many ruts and everything, so was quite good. And yeah, it was really good and enjoy a lot.
Yeah.
Because Argentina was your first time racing an overseas event, wasn't it? You said everything was different. Did you enjoy that different experience? Did you profit from it and really enjoy that?
Yeah, I enjoy a lot. Yeah, I enjoy a lot. Big travel, and then when we are here, we don't see a lot the city and the country.
No.
But yeah, enjoy a lot, and to be in a different country, different culture is also good to see. And I love to travel, so yeah.
Okay. Well, you did look like you enjoyed it. You were fourth in race 2 in Argentina, but I guess since then there's been quite a few ups and downs, hasn't there? It's been difficult for you racing a world championship. Is it just the intensity of it? There's more races, or what do you think you put that down to?
Yeah, my beginning of the year was not the best. Yeah, I had pretty good pre-season races. Yeah. Was quite fast, and even in Argentina, I show the speed. So yeah, was a bit, I think, too excited. I wanted to win, but it's not like that. And yeah, had a good second race in Argentina, and then after I have my injury in the wrist in Spain. Yeah. So yeah, and after quite up and down. But yeah, now I'm happy. I have the speed back now, and then need to keep going. But yeah, it's quite a big step. Everyone is there, and like compared to MX250, we are not 3 good riders. We are 10, and that's it.
And also double the races, so not 10, it's now 20 races, and so the schedule is even more busy, more training on the bike, more everything else, less free weekends as well. People don't understand the difference really between the MX250 and MX2, how big the difference is.
Yeah, me too. I didn't expect like that big. We have like many races, and then even like just the 5 minutes we are more in the race. In the moto is quite good. It's quite big too, because when the sun is at 30, when the temperature is 30, yeah, it's quite heavy too. And when we are at Lommel with the big bumps and everything, it's something. So yeah, it's really different, and intensity is different too. Like we said, everything is different. Like you start a new adventure.
Yeah, a new learning year.
Yeah.
What was the goal in the beginning of the season, and what is the goal now for the last 7 races?
Didn't have so much goals. We'll say just learning, and then yeah, if I can win, for sure I go for a win. But yeah, no, just learning, and then yeah, keep going, and that's it. And yeah, now for the end of the season, I just ride like how I ride in the training, and then keep going, keep learning, because I had many ups and downs, so I learned a lot too this year. Yeah. And then yeah, I want to do a podium for the end of the season, but we'll see. And yeah, just keep pushing.
All right. Well, look, Mathis VALIN, thank you for joining us here this weekend, and all the best for the rest of the season.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mathis.
Well, our next guest, Calvin VLAANDEREN, is getting ready to come in and join us. But before we meet the Yamaha rider, let's just take a quick look at a little bit, and it's actually the intro to the next episode of Behind the Gate. Hope and Glory. Enjoy.
Have you ever met Miss Lindy? She's a gal with the bright red hair. Now she stands high from all the rest. You know her anywhere. Well, she's mine. Yeah, she's mine. Well, I love that little girl with the bright red hair. Well, Miss Lindy.
Motocross, or scrambling as it was originally known, was first invented in the UK just over 100 years ago at Camberley in Surrey. It was originally done on adapted road bikes, so the British manufacturers were there from the very start all the way through to the very first World Championship, which was won by AJS, a British brand. So at that time, a lot of the top racers would be racing on British motorcycles. Matterley Basin is one of those racetracks that everyone looks forward to going to. Firstly, it's spectacular to look at. It's in the basin. It's got some of the biggest jumps on the calendar. It's got the quad out there. It's got fantastic areas for the spectators to view the track everywhere. And it really is a favourite for the media, for the fans, and for the riders and teams. One British company that continues to make a fantastic impact in the general bike market is Triumph. Known for their competitive spirit, they entered the Moto2 scene, and of late they spent a lot of time and energy into the off-road market and on motocross. And right from the very beginning, they scored a podium in Argentina, and their level of commitment, their professionalism has been second to none from the get-go.
Pozdravujeme z VIPčka, ja sa o malú chvíľočku pridám k Petrovi. Peter, je to teraz tvoje.
Hello everybody, welcome back to our live studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland. Our second guest joins us now from Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MXGP, Calvin VLAANDEREN. Calvin, good to see you. We've had a weekend off. Don't tell me, how did you spend it? Golf and lots of it?
Thanks for having me, guys. Always good to be here. I unfortunately didn't have time to play golf. I was in Italy testing and training with the team, and then I was home for the weekend, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to do nothing this weekend. And I actually picked up a bit of a flu after Finland, so I was on the couch trying to heal up and get ready for this weekend.
Well, I was going to say, if it wasn't golf, I didn't factor in the testing thing. I was going to think, well, if it's not golf, it's cycling and lots of that as well, because isn't your significant other a keen cyclist and some former athlete or something like that?
Yeah, she was a professional horse rider in the past. Now she's kind of changed her passion, and now she's gone into cycling. So a lot of her time training is on the bicycle, and she likes to join me for my training, and that's it's quite special to do some training together.
Yeah.
Well, that was my next question. Does that actually make a difference to you as a rider to have someone in your corner who's from a sporting background that kind of knows what you're going through as well?
100%, 100%. Yeah. I think, you know, any kind of sportsman and at that top level, it's so much pressure, and there's so, like, I'm not a nice person to live with sometimes. And I apologize to her sometimes because I'm really a pain in the ass. But she understands it, and that's really helpful to have someone like that in my corner who's been there, done that, and understands the stress and the highs and lows of any sport.
Yeah. Well, Calvin, last time we saw you was in Finland, where you picked up your first podium of the season. How emotional was that moment for you?
It was just a relief, to be honest. It was just so nice to finally put in 2 good races this season and to get on the podium. It's been the goal right from the beginning of the season, and it's taken a lot of time, you know, 13 rounds to get there. So it's just a little bit of relief, and every weekend that goes by and you don't achieve that goal, the pressure adds up, it adds up, it adds up. Not from the team or anyone else, but just on myself. You know, I want to perform, I want to be on the podium, and you know, 5th place is not good enough for myself. I want to be up there. So just to get 2 races done and to be up there was nice. You know, even the second moto, I felt like I could have pushed and maybe gone for the win, but I knew that in the back of my head I had podium safe.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, let me just take it easy and get this podium off my back.
Yeah. Well, you say it's 13 rounds, but the reality is it's probably just over a year since the back-to-back podiums in Indonesia last year. So on that basis, I think you might have just touched on it there. You know, the pressure for you to sort of go out and get that, make that happen, you know, it's not for the lack of trying, and clearly you have the pace. And so, has it just been more frustration than anything else?
You know, the level is so high at the moment, and everything needs to click to be up there on the podium. Honestly, like especially for me, I work really hard to be up there, and you know, you see guys like Lucas, and he's 18 years old, and he's winning. I wouldn't say easily, but you know, it comes pretty naturally to him. And you know, I'm 29 now. I have those some wins, but it doesn't come that naturally to me. I need to work really, really hard to be up there. So, like, it's not frustration, but it's just everything needs to click to be there. If I'm not 100% feeling good with the bike, I'm off the pace. You know, I need to have a good feeling with the bike, physically feel in a good shape, and get good starts to you know, really be up there at the end of the weekend on Sunday.
Well, you just mentioned a moment ago that you did briefly lead that race as well. Was that nice to re-experience that again? And do you feel like perhaps maybe a little bit lighter now, and that maybe you can, going forward, like I guess, just ride more freely now that it's off your back?
It definitely gives me more confidence going forward, for sure. And even though it was a short time leading that race, it's such a nice feeling. It's such a nice feeling, and like I would love to get whole shot after whole shot and be leading every race. That feeling is amazing. So that's what we've been working for, and hopefully this weekend we can get some good starts and be up front.
Well, talking of this weekend, madly, you just missed the podium here a couple of years ago, even though you won the second race. Was it like 4-1?
I went 5-1 and I missed the podium.
Normally you'd be on the podium at least third step, and you know, I remember you coming over the line and thinking, you know, am I on the podium? And then they're like, nah.
Yeah, I literally won the race. I went 5-1. Like I was like, not even a question, I'm on the podium or not. You know, I'm definitely up there. Yeah. Went back, went over the finish line, and I didn't get told to go to the podium. They just said, okay, you can go back to the truck. So I went back to the truck, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, cool that I won, but I would have liked to be on the box.
But what is it about this podium, about this track that you like so much as well? Because everybody has you as a sand rider and things like that. But you've, like I say, you won a race here, and you've obviously got a good feeling with the track in the past. You just gel with it. Is that something going back to the South African kind of hardback tracks growing up on, or not really?
I don't know if it's got to do with that. It's just I gel really well with this track. Like even this morning, I can feel the ground really well with the bike and with the tires. And I think a lot of the what I hear from comments from the past from other riders is they struggle with traction. They struggle to find the feeling with the track. And for me, it comes pretty naturally to find that feeling. So, and the flow, I have a good flow on this track, so I enjoy it. Every time I come here, I'm always like, am I going to have that feeling? Am I not? But free practice 1 or 2 laps and I feel it already. Good. So, yeah, it's good.
And from the remaining rounds that we have, Calvin, what circuits are you looking forward to? Turkey, China, Australia as well?
These ones were definitely on my list. You know, Loket, Lommel, Arnhem. These are you know, big tracks for me to perform. So these ones I put a little bit of extra pressure on myself to perform. And of course going to Australia, I've never been in my life, so that's going to be really cool to visit and also to race there.
And real quick, obviously the flyways, Turkey, China, Australia, there's going to be a lot of time for playing golf on the downtime.
You're obsessed with golf.
No, the riders are, because when you hear who's in his golf clique...
We need to go play golf sometime.
Who's in your golf clique?
Who's in your golf clique, and are you going to be flying your own bats, your own sticks over there, or are you going to be sort of renting when you're over there?
It depends. I still need to think about it, to be honest. But I play sometimes with Kai de Wolf.
And then Camden.
And Camden, yeah. The 3 of us play quite often. And obviously the cult motor guys are involved. And we actually have a groups app with us. So there's a lot of chit-chat.
That's so funny.
There's a lot of chit-chat and a lot of trash talking in that app.
I can imagine. Actually, on Hope and Glory, the last episode of Behind the Gate, they featured Camden and Guillaume, and they were sat in the studio together doing that, and obviously they were talking about him tucking the front and him sort of...
Yeah.
Those two, I can imagine what you guys are like, you know.
It's nice because for me, I'm not like... they're competitors, they race against each other, you know, Cameron and Kai. So for me, I'm not really racing against them. So for me, the banter is always good against them.
What's the name of the WhatsApp group?
I can't say that. It's something to do with golf.
Okay. F golf.
Yeah. Something to do with golf. But it's funny. It's so good to have this kind of relationship with the riders. You know, it's so serious all the time on the weekends. And sometimes during the week, we just, you know, we play golf and we're not talking about motocross at all. It's just about general life and about that shot he just hit or the next shot we're going to hit.
In the trees.
And sometimes we don't even know what we're saying during the round. It's like I get home and Fen is like, "What did you talk about?"
No idea.
I don't know. But it was so much fun. You know.
You need that, don't you?
I love it. Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
All right. Well, look. Anyway, look, we are out of time. Good chat. And
we should play some golf sometime.
We will. We'll do that on the flyways. Don't worry.
Cool.
Calvin VLAANDEREN, thank you very much. Jason Thomas getting ready to come and join us now live in a moment. But here's another snippet from our latest episode of Behind the Gate, which you can already view online now. Hope and Glory. It's catching up with Tony Caroli, I think. Enjoy. see Tony Cairoli back at Matterley, probably his favourite track of all time on the World Championship calendar. And let's not forget, in terms of the British Grand Prix, he is the most successful rider on British soil. 8 Grand Prix victories, 6 alone at Matterley Basin. His other 2 were 2008 at Mallory Park in MX2, but in 2007 he rode as a wildcard at Donington Park and won the MX1 category with a 2-1 to take his first ever Premier Class victory. So there's something about the British soil for Tony Cairoli. Of course, he won his 7th world title at Matterley Basin. In 2006, he was fantastic for Italy at the Motocross of Nations as well. So it's no surprise to see him back on a 450 Ducati, enjoying his racing at the moment, and yeah, giving us that little trip down memory lane once more, and just sort of giving us a little bit more nostalgia in the life of Tony Cairoli and everything that he's kind of achieved over the years.
K tomu, že pojedou do Evropy a budeme moct používat do toho národňáku a plánujeme vlastně už v letošní sezóna bude.
Hello everybody, welcome back to our live studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland, our final part, and Jason Thomas. Fly Racing comes and joins us. Good to see you, Jason. Has it really been since Kozar, second round, that we last saw you?
It was. Weather's cooperating a little bit better than Kozar, yeah.
It's a little bit. Actually, Lisa has a nice fun fact about why it's so warm in Loket specifically. Go on, just get it off.
Did you know, this is a fun fact, did you know there's actually a hole, Jason, in the ozone layer right above Czech Republic?
I did
That's
not know
why
that.
when
Really?
the sun comes out, it's that hot.
Hotter.
It's right over Loket.
All right.
So she's expanded her sort
I
of
see a
geographic.
meteorologist now.
Yesterday
Yep.
it was only specifically above Loket, but now it's over Czech Republic.
It's a fact.
It's expanding quickly.
I'll
Yeah,
tell you
you might
what.
want to look into that.
You look that up. You look that one up.
Anyway, let's talk MX2. Kai de Wolf, defending champion. It's not been the easiest season for him. Before Finland, he was 70 points down in third. He's now 48 points coming into here behind Simon Langenfelder.
Yeah.
Do you still fancy him for the title?
I think it's going to be an interesting back and forth because the way the schedule goes down the stretch, I think the weekends where the tracks work for you, like typically here, hard pack, someone should be really good, right? He needs to claw some points back because you have to think Lommel, we go to Arnhem, those are going to be really strong tracks for Kai de Wolf. So when the weekend works for you, you better capitalize on it because you have to know that Kai is going to do really well. And we're not even, adding Andrea in there too. And Andrea's kind of lurking in there, but it seems like Kai has momentum. So I think it's really important for Langenfelder to kind of stem that this weekend before we go to the sand.
Yeah.
Well, Simon Langenfelder has a 43-point lead over Adamo. You just mentioned him. It's been a good couple of rounds for him, but how much do you think that Finland kind of really sort of hurted him?
Yeah.
Germany, Langenfelder.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I think to just get your confidence back, I think they're doing the right things. You saw him go race in Germany in the sand and just trying to get confidence back and understand that maybe I can't beat Kai in the sand, but if I could go 2-2 or 2-3 and it's not a very damaging weekend, and then maybe you can find a way to win a track like this, a track like Sweden.
Yep.
If you could keep the status quo, I think for the flyaways, when you start thinking about Turkey, if you could go in there with a 40-point lead somehow, it would look really good. You would almost kind of put the impetus back on de Wolf to do something extraordinary down the stretch.
I mean, just briefly before Lisa's next question, I think I alluded to it in the fact that he's going to need the hard pack tracks here and in Sweden, either side of the sand races in Lommel and Arnhem, to claw as many points as possible back, because while he's a good sand rider, there are other riders that can possibly get in on the act and take points away, and one of those is obviously Kai.
Yeah, 100%. And, Kai needs to also kind of eliminate the mistakes, and when he's on, he's on. A race like Finland felt a little bit untouchable, but he's had these uncharacteristic mistakes that you simply did not see in 2024. That's how you get 70 points down. Sure. So you hate to say he has to be perfect, but it feels like he's going to have to be close to perfect because, he's going to bounce back. Yeah. He's been too good in 2025 to not have strong weekends. So to call back 48 points or whatever the number is over, 7 rounds is asking a lot.
Yeah.
And also with Simon as well, he's just desperate to win that title. He's placed third the past 3 years in a row. Adamo and also Kai, they've been there before. They've been world champions before. How much do you think that experience will kind of play its part towards the end of the season in terms of, I guess, like dealing with that pressure of it?
Well, I think there's two ways to look at it. The experience could weigh heavily. Could be like, I've been here before. I know what to do. But I've asked.
But the flip side is they've been there before.
Yeah, and I've asked former champions, and they always say the second one's the hardest, right? And I don't know that they can specifically say why, but in their experience, winning the second one was always harder. So which of those two sides of the coin are you going to choose? I mean, that's why racing's so great, is we simply don't know. But it's fascinating, I think, the way this series is played out, because it felt like Langenfelder was running away with the championship, and now, after one weekend, it doesn't feel that way so much anymore.
And obviously, Andrea Adamo, the other rider in the mix in this championship chase, last couple of rounds before Finland, up and down, you know, Latvia, Great Britain. Still hanging in there, though. He's second, so very, very much in the mix, 43 points off of Simon Langenfelder. He's had 5 race wins, more than in his championship campaign, 4 Grand Prix victories, which is double what he had when he won in 2023. And on paper, it's actually his best season yet. He scored 6 more points at this stage of the championship than he did in that World Championship winning campaign. So, second, other than his starts, I mean, even his starts have been okay, but he needs to start nailing things as well, doesn't he? And I think that win, that result last week was as good as a win for him, I think, you know, second overall.
Yeah, I think he's definitely riding better than the year he won his championship. But down the stretch, when you look at 3-3, I think there's going to have to be a lot of winning along the way. You're not going to be able to back your way into this championship, I don't believe. So I think it's going to come down to who can step up and who can really perform. We've seen championships, and I would say Andrea's championship before, it was critical mistakes cost everybody, and he simply didn't make them. There weren't weekends where he just went out and dominated. He just was always there, always on the podium, stacking up points. I really feel down the stretch through the end of July, August, September, you're going to have to win to get this championship done. Yeah.
Well, the championship is really between the 3 riders, De Wolf, Adamo, and also Langenfelder. But there are other riders that kind of getting in the mix as well. You've got the Sashas, you've got the Liams, you've got the Thibauts as well. Yeah,
and I think if you're trying to game out how do Kai or Andrea win this championship, you need those riders. You need Thibaut, you need Sasha Kuhnen, who is Langenfelder's teammate, so how does that play? Yeah. You know, but you will need those guys, because you're going to need a weekend for Finland where Langenfelder makes a mistake and he doesn't claw back to second or third. He sits 5th or 6th. He has to settle for a 6th, and you claw back 10 points in one race. Yeah. That's where you make the difference.
And actually, no Liam Everts this weekend because of his crash in Finland. So Kai is without a wingman. Yeah, and that also could play.
It does
this weekend.
Yeah, you talk to champions of the past. Chad Reed, for example, he would always say, I didn't have teammates in my critical moments, right? I had Heath Voss or these guys that they couldn't be involved. They couldn't help me when I really needed them, and it just makes the job that much more difficult.
Who have you been most sort of disappointed with this year? Who are the candidates, and maybe who takes the biscuit? Who is kind of, you know, the one person that you've just been...
Well, and I don't know that it's
more
specifically this year, but I really thought that Benestant would be a championship contender. You look at the dominant rides he's had, go to Teutschenthal 2023, 2020. Like, he's had breakout rides where, like, that guy's going to be, he's going to win a championship. Yeah. Like, you can see it. And, you know, injuries have obviously been an issue, but I keep waiting for him to arrive, waiting for him to assert himself. So we've seen signs of life. I thought Finland, and on a track that I wouldn't necessarily correlate him having success on, he looked pretty good. Yep. Challenging Adamo all the way to the finish there. But again, he's the one guy that I truly think can win a championship in this class, and I'm just season after season kind of waiting for that to show up.
And we've got 1 minute left.
Yeah, and just quickly on the flip side of that, who outside of the top 3 have kind of really impressed you that you think, actually, he could have a good future now?
Well, I have to say that Langenfelder's finally there. You know, we've been waiting and waiting and waiting. You could almost honestly say the same as Benestant. He's finally done the thing. You know, to have a big gap this late in the season, he's always almost been his own worst enemy with the points. If he doesn't get it done this year, that's going to be a really tough blow to take.
I know, like, we've got 20 seconds. First time here in Czech Republic at Loket. First impressions?
I mean, I've been to Czech many times, but this Loket area, you know, this is a beautiful area of the world, and you get these wonderful backdrops with this great sport. It's really difficult to beat.
Jason, you have to check out some of the restaurants in Loket.
Can we leave now? Right. JT, thanks for joining us. We'll see you in Lommel next week for MXGP chat. But we are out of time. Coming up on MXGP TV today, we've got an absolute stacked schedule. We're live again in about 20 minutes, 25 minutes with EMX 2-stroke, and then we've got the usual time practice MX2, MXGP, of course, the qualifying races, and 65 and 85 EMX championships as well. So live on MXGP TV. Hope we can see you then, and enjoy your weekend. Bye for now.